In this video, we will create a mixed ink swatch within Indesign CS6. When you need to achieve the maximum number of printed colors with the fewest number of inks, you can create new ink swatches by mixing two spot inks or by mixing a spot ink with one or more process inks. Using mixed ink colors lets you increase the number of colors available without increasing the number of separations used to print the document. You can create a single mixed ink swatch or use a mixed ink group to generate multiple swatches at once. A mixed ink group contains a series of colors created from incremental percentages of different process and spot color inks. For example, mixing 4 tints of process cyan 20, 40, 60, and 80% with 5 tints of a spot color at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50% results in a mixed ink group that contains 20 different swatches. Mixed inks were briefly discussed in an earlier video, but let's demonstrate how to create them within Indesign. Before you can begin, ensure there is at least one spot color in your swatches panel. I'm going to create a new spot color within our document. Next, I'll select the Swatches panel menu and then select New Mixed Ink Swatch. If you look at the Swatches menu and you see this option is gray and you're unable to select it, it means you have not yet added a spot color to the Swatches panel. Next, type a name for the swatch. To include an ink in the swatch, click the empty box next to its name and an ink icon will appear. Adjust the percentage of each ink included in the swatch by using the slider or typing a value in the box provided. Then add the mixed ink to the swatches panel by clicking the Add or OK buttons. Notice now that the mixed ink has been listed within the swatches panel. As mentioned earlier, a mixed ink is indicated by a 2-droplet icon. If you'd like to create a mixed ink group, select the New Mixed Ink Group from the Swatches panel menu. Type a name for the mixed ink group. To include an ink in the group, click the empty box next to its name. For each ink selected, you must enter the percentage of ink you want to start mixing to create the group for initial. Specify the number of times you want to increment the ink percentage for the repeat column, and specify the percentage of ink you want to add for each repetition for increment. Click OK to add all inks to the mixed ink group on the Swatches panel. You can always preview the swatches by clicking on the Preview Swatches button. Notice now that the mixed ink group is displayed within the Swatches panel. If you want to modify a mixed ink swatch, the good news is that you can use the same process that you use to edit other swatches. Before editing, it's important to keep the following things in mind. First, if you use the Swatches panel to delete an ink that is used in a mixed ink swatch, Indesign will ask you to replace it. If a mixed ink doesn't contain at least one spot color, it will be converted to a process color. Next, a change made to the parent of a mixed ink group will apply to all mixed inks within the group. Also, converting mixed ink to a process or spot color removes its association with the mixed ink group. Finally, deleting a parent of a mixed ink group will delete all swatches within the group. If you'd like to add a swatch to a mixed ink group, select the parent of the mixed ink group in the Swatches panel. The parent is always distinguished by the parent icon displayed to the left of the water droplets that are listed for the swatches below. Choose New Color Swatch from the panel's menu. Specify a name for the swatch. For each ink selected, specify the percentage you want in the mixed ink swatch. Click the OK button when finished. You can convert mixed inks to process colors to reduce printing costs. When you convert the parent of a mixed ink group to process, the parent swatch disappears and the other swatches in the mixed ink group are converted to process colors. To do so, double-click the mixed ink swatch you want to convert. For a color type, select Process, and then select OK. To convert all inks in a mixed ink group to process colors, double-click the parent of the group and select Convert Mixed Ink Swatches to Process in the dialog box. When finished, click OK. Notice now all the inks have been changed to process colors and are no longer mixed inks as part of a group. This concludes our tutorial on working with mixed inks within InDesign CS6. Although mixed inks can be useful, it's important to keep in mind that they could contribute to rising printing costs. But don't worry, because if you find yourself needing to convert mixed ink and mixed inks groups in the future, you now know how to convert them to process inks as well.